And our special guest is a singer-songwriter who just seems to get better and better. Probably best known for her hits The Closest Thing to Crazy and 9 Million Bicycles in Beijing. Fab song. But she's back with a fantastic new album. Welcome, Katie Melua. I have to confess, I am a total fan. I play your music in my restaurants.
Do you?
Yes, I do.
Does it go well with the food?
Well, I think it does, because it's very sort of relaxed, it's very sort of slightly jazzy, slightly sexy, slightly innocent. I think it induces people to, you know, to eat a plate of prawns. Yeah.
Oh, nice. I like it. I do get a lot of friends saying me, you know, I'm in Germany, I'm at a restaurant, or I'm in a bookstore, and you're on. I'm like, yeah.
Well, Katie, I'll be cooking for you later, and one of those dishes will either be your heaven or your food hell. So what dish is food heaven for you?
I'm a big fan of seafood, so prawns is my food heaven.
Good stuff.
And then food hell, liver. Not a fan of liver.
Well, that's a shame. I like liver, but I go with the prawns and clams. For your food heaven, I'm going to make you arroz verde, which is a dish inspired from my trips to Spain. And I'm going to cook some actually lovely fresh prawns and some clams. Another, I know it's one of your favourites. Lots of garlic, lots of parsley. That's why it's called arroz verde. And I'm also going to serve more garlic. You do like garlic,
I do like garlic. I've got a bit of a garlic story, actually.
Good stuff, because alioli's got loads too.
OK.
But if hell wins, then I'll be cooking your liver. Yeah. But it's my Venetian version, very pink. I don't know whether you like it pink. You probably don't like it at all.
Sounds like complete hell.
Oh, yeah. But it's with lovely golden onions and parsley and buttery polenta with lots of parmesan.
OK.
You go for that?
That might make it a bit better, yeah.
Fine, fine. But we'll have to wait until the end of the show to find out which one you'll get. What do you think?
I think it's brilliant. When I first saw Tokai, I was like, oh, sweet wine.
Yeah.
You know? But it has great body, really holds up to the broth, not too sweet.
It's amazing, isn't it?
Good combination. I think that the cleanliness of the wine really matches the cleanliness of the food. Beautiful. And that squid is like butter. It's lovely.
Of course, Georgia's really famous for wines, isn't it?
It is. Well, Georgians claim that wine was invented there. I think they found the earliest recipes for wine in the land that is Georgia.
Fabulous.
Yeah.
Bryn, you're cooking for us shortly. What have we got to look forward to?
Loin of venison, so really in season now, a nice bit of game. Crushed swedes, so loads of butter and black pepper, chard, sprout and broccoli, and I'll make a sauce with some blackberries as well, so just cut through the richness of the venison.
Sounds great. And there's still time for you at home to ask us a question. Just call 0330 123 1410. That's 0330 123 1410. But please call before 11 o'clock today. Or you can tweet us a question using the Saturday Kitchen hashtag. Now that it's time in the show to have a look at my food travelogue. This week, apparently, I'm in Rioja and trying out the best of Spanish cuisine. I always feel a bit embarrassed when I see myself on telly, but let's have a look. Oh, that was a great trip. I'm sorry about my Spanish pronunciation. But, and I'm always saying this is one of my best dishes. I've got to stop doing that because I've got so many best dishes. So what I've done is got the idea of peppers, but we've been filming long weekends in Thessaloniki, quite near to where you come from, recently. And I've got another take on stuffed peppers. And it's actually using minced lamb with cumin and nutmeg and cinnamon. Not nutmeg, sorry, I'm looking at the spices and got it wrong. Cinnamon and cumin, quite a lot of chilli.
I think that's going to be amazing.
Well, I think it is, but I would say that, wouldn't I? But, I mean, I was just thinking Georgia, there's a sort of, I mean, Georgia's quite warm, isn't it? I mean,
it is.
like
in
a
the
Mediterranean...
summertime, it's really warm. It's next to Turkey.
Yeah.
And we've got the Black Sea, which is my favourite sea to swim in. So I used to go back there every summertime. You know, even after we moved over to the UK.
Well, I mean, it's, you know, Istanbul's not just the other end of the Black Sea, isn't it?
Yeah,
so...
exactly. And there is nothing better than swimming in the Black Sea and then having salty corn on the cob, which is sold everywhere on the streets, and it's so delicious. It's so amazing. And also, my granddad is a chef.
Is he?
He is, yeah.
Still in Georgia?
Still in Georgia.
What does that, I mean, what does he cook? I mean, what sort of...
All
just
sorts of things.
Lamb, salted,
yeah,
salted...
he'll cook that. But you know what?
Toasted pine nuts.
His story is really incredible because when he was really young, like a lot of people... Ooh, I know, I should be
Sorry, no,
paying
carry
attention.
on. I shouldn't be saying this. When he was young...
When he was really young, he was 15, like it happened to a lot of people in Soviet countries, he got sent to a Siberian labour camp.
Crikey, how could they dare send a chef to a Siberian
Well, no, this was
labour
before he was a chef.
I mean, all we do is work in dark kitchens and...
I know, but it was food-related.
See the suntan those two, can't you?
It was food-related
What
because
was he?
He gave an alibi to his friends who stole bread from a shop.
Wow.
And all the stories that he told me when I was growing up were all to do with really serious hunger. You know, like, I mean, we're talking, you know, some of the most devastating stories of the 20th century.
Oh, I know. I've just spoke to other people. You know. We spoke to some guy in Venice who'd been sent to a labour camp, I don't know why, from Austria. I will find out. But he survived on sauerkraut. So much,
wow.
you know...
That's amazing. And what's incredible is when I'd go back, and the art of eating was always so revered and special in our home. I didn't really realise it until he told me later, you know, this backstory that there was all this things that happened with hunger. So, you know, when I sit down at a table and there's food placed in front of me, especially when it's like this, when it's done by a master, that is... you know, that's what life's about, I reckon.
So, gosh, well, I mean, your new album's all about going back to Georgia, making it there, and getting in with that choir, the Gory
Women's Choir. Yeah.
Wonderful. And you're bringing them on tour?
I am. I just wanted to explore the art of vocals with it and to see what I could learn. So...
I've got to say,
teaching us now? You've got to tell us what you're...
It's just a minced lamb, onion, pine nuts, cumin, cinnamon, parsley, shallots, tomato, and let's get on now. I just want to actually show people, but I'm sure they've all seen it.
I know. Sorry, I've been yabbing away.
No, I love you yabbing on, and actually,
what you're making.
I did actually say to Katie, talk a lot, and I can do some cooking because it's always quite hard to sort of cook, and so I'm very happy that you're talking so much, and I'm not talking enough because I've got to say now what I'm doing is just dropping these into some boiling water to get the skins off. I just want you to count to 30 because people tend to overcook these tomatoes.
Okay, I'll do it on my fingers.
Okay.
You know, you said you sing to yourself under pressure.
Yeah, in the kitchen.
What other tips have you got for? Because I'm petrified of cooking. I'm really petrified.
It was just like, you know, when you're under, these boys would know, when you're under real pressure in the kitchen, right? Somebody starts singing a song, right? And then everybody picks it up. And then and in the end, you just think, have we got 30 seconds?
I think so.
Okay. And then you start getting cross.
Yeah, once you start singing one song in the kitchen, the whole chef sing it, and it stays all day.
And I mean, it's a beautiful song. I love David Bowie, but, you know, the later, much lamented David Bowie. But... in the kitchen, you just say, I can't stand it. I don't want to hear Under Pressure anymore because I'm under pressure.
Let's see, what other songs would be good for that? But, I mean, it does take 30 seconds to get to a chorus.
I mean, this is one of the things that why I really love your music, because I was listening to Call Off the Search, and I just got it, and the song in it about oysters, right? And I'm always looking for food with oysters in it. It's sort of, well, how does it go?
OK, so the opening line is, let's see if I can remember, it was years ago.
It was sort of like...
Some people say that oysters make you come on strong, but I don't buy it. I don't believe my diet turns me on.
Do you know what? I was just...
Nice.
You know, it's always a bit strange listening to lyrics when it's not in a song.
But also, I think it's... You know, I was thinking... If you were doing like a learned essay in sort of like food and diet and what it matters, you could do that as the title, you know?
Oh, cool.
Discuss.
Brilliant.
Maybe
I'll wait for that.
Should be a recipe.
Yeah.
Right, now I'm just chopping up the tomatoes now.
That'd be great.
God, I'm sorry. I'm so enjoying talking to Katie. I'm finding it a bit difficult to finish this dish, which I'm supposed to be doing.
I'm sure it'll still be delicious.
So they go in there.
There we go.
So just tell us about In Winter then, because I've been listening to that in the car on my CD player because my car's so old. And it's lovely.
Well,
it's
first
really
of all,
lovely.
I'm delighted you still have a CD player. A lot of people I know don't have a CD player, but no, this is my 7th album.
Well, then they've all hit the charts, including this one, haven't
I
they?
know, it's been an incredible week. This is
well
the 7th
done.
one in the top 10. But the choir are so excited because...
And they just told me that only you and Kate Bush have had consecutive 7 albums in the top 10.
Yeah, but you know...
I should be a bit sort of... I'm really enjoying talking to you. I should be like, oh, God.
No. The food is what matters.
It does.
But the choir are just over the moon.
Yeah.
Because to have a chance to make a record that is released from a UK base is extraordinary.
Yeah.
You know, because the industry that we have here, in terms of music, it's spread all over the world. And in Georgia, we grew up listening to music made in the West.
Really?
Yeah, so when I went back over there, their excitement and enthusiasm for having a chance of having an album that will come out here was so contagious.
They really up for it.
Yeah, they're so excited.
I'd love to see them. What, are they nice girls, or are they...
They've been going since the 70s.
Wow.
So there's 3 members...
Just stuffing the pepper now.
Oh, yes.
Hurriedly. But,
I'm sorry to...
no, I'm very interested.
Are you sure you want to know?
Yeah, carry on.
And yeah, no, there's 3 of them have been in the choir since the 70s, and they train 3 times a week. And the way they do and focus on vocal art is fascinating.
Really?
Right, what's going on now? What are we doing?
I've just stuffed them. I'm just going to put a bit of olive oil. Sorry, Tom. Olive oil. And I'm going to put a little bit of vinegar in there as well and just pop them in the oven for 20 minutes, hot oven, 20 minutes, lid on, and then 20 minutes lid off.
So you make it look so easy.
Oh, God, it's really hard when you're doing telly and trying to cook.
Oh, yeah, I'm sure.
It's sort of...
Well, we've got cameras and we've got millions of people watching. So, yeah.
Well, I quite enjoy cooking.
Yeah, he's under pressure. He starts singing in a minute.
Brilliant.
I mean, how much do you enjoy singing?
Oh.
You're so good at it.
It's everything to me. I think it's probably one of the greatest things in the world.
Well, I was just reading about you, and this is like weird, but you cooked at the bottom of an oil rig or a gas rig.
I wish I cooked
on the ocean shore, not cooked. You sang.
Yeah. Would you be up for cooking at the bottom of a gas rig?
I'd be a bit nervous. Were you?
I wasn't, because
how deep were you?
I think it was 800 metres.
Oh, my God.
But I was like 21, so when you're 21, I don't know, I wasn't nervous when I was 21.
Well, did they give you any sort of training in singing at the bottom of the ocean?
They did.
God, it's such a good idea, isn't it?
That looks
nice, doesn't it? I'm just going to add a bit of rice to it, because it's quite rich. Quite often when you stuff peppers, you put a lot of rice in there, but I just really love this. I got the stuffing from, as I said, from
What's your
Thessaloniki.
best tip for rice?
Depends what you're doing with the rice, you know? You just have to get the right rice. And actually, one tip I would say is don't cook it as long as virtually any recipe says, because, you know, particularly if you're doing rice for sort of Indian dishes or Southeast Asian dishes, they always say cook for about 12 minutes, and I reckon it's about 8 or 9.
Oh, is it? OK.
OK, now, just try it.
OK, wow, thank you.
It's going to be a bit hot.
Oh, what an honour.
It looks quite Georgian to me.
Do you know what? It doesn't look too unfamiliar to what my granddad might do. Wow. Right, I'm going in for the rice first.
OK. That's the sort of, you know, that's just cooked with shallots and a little bit of butter and then some water.
Let's see.
So, what do you think? It's got a lot of... It's delish, isn't it? It's very, very, I think, very Middle Eastern, really.
Beautiful.
So,
stunning.
What will I be making for Katie at the end of the show? It could be her food heaven, prawns, and I'll cook arroz verde, I like that Spanish, arroz, which is a paella type of dish with prawns, clams and rice using lots of parsley and lots of garlic and served with homemade alioli, which the boys are going to make. Or could it be hell, liver? I'll make a classic Venetian dish that's a bit of an in-joke there, I'll tell you later. Of course... Proper amount of butter, I have to say. Good on you. Now, let's speak to some of our lovely viewers. First up, it's Roger from Littlehampton. What's your question, Roger?
Good morning, Rick.
Morning.
My question is, my question is, I'd like an alternative way of cooking pheasant, please.
OK, a different way of cooking pheasant.
Yes, please, yeah.
Right, I'm sure. Which one of you...
Yeah, OK. Hi, Rick. I would probably braise the pheasant then, make a pie. So instead of a lot of people just roast the pheasant on the crown, I'd take the pheasant, some stock, vegetables, root vegetables, that time of year, braise it down.
I love that, yeah.
A little bit of red wine in there, a little bit of beef stock, braise it right down, flake it down. You can have it with mashed potato or make a pie from it, something different.
Got a pastry.
Pastry.
Sounds good. So, which dish would you like to see, heaven or hell?
I should vote for hell, but as it's Katie, I'll go for heaven.
Thank you.
Right, Katie, we've got a tweet.
Yes, Ed Townend says, "Morning, Rick. Any suggestions for cooking seafood for toddlers? Trying to reimagine something besides fish fingers."
Well, I have to say I'm a little bit over the top here, but I used to give my little boys mussels when they were little. They're not as dangerous. They're not dangerous. If they're fresh.
Yeah.
Kids love mussels. It's
They're
the whole
fun
thing
to
of taking
eat,
them
right?
out of the shell.
Nice.
So I know you're not going to like that, but...
Cool.
Another tweet?
Yes, from Pauline Swift. She says, "Good morning. I have a whole chicken. What can I do with it other than roast it?"
I'll go this one. Well, normally people do roast the whole chicken, so what I would do, put the whole chicken into a large saucepan, just cover the water, add some chilli, lemongrass, some coriander, and just slowly simmer the chicken. Once it's done, add some pak choys with different leaves in it and cook the rice out to that liquor as well. And then the chilies you add in the actual broth itself, take them out, chop them up, a little bit of sugar, a little bit of soy sauce, make a little chilli sauce, and you've got like a poached chicken, rice, coriander and chilli sauce. Beautiful. Nice and light as well.
Very Southeast Asian. Let's go back to the phones. Our next caller is Moya from Bodmin, my neck of the woods. What's your question, Moya?
Morning, Captain.
Go on, then.
At Bodmin Farmers Market, they get me nice turbots. They're not very big, they're plate size. And he fillets them for me. But what else can I do with it?
I'll go this one.
Go on, then. Go on, then.
If it's a nice size, just roast it whole with skin on. Just take the eyes out if you want to. But shallow tray, a little bit of stock or a little bit of water, good knob of butter, in with the turbot, season at the top, bit of herbs in there, and just slowly cook it in the oven about 160 degrees, 140 degrees, for about 20 minutes, and just keep basting the fish with all the juice that comes out.
Yeah, small turbot.
Yeah.
I
And
bought
then take the skin off.
I bought a turbot
lovely.
kettle the other day for 20 quid. Didn't you
Yeah,
know? It looks like a coffin. Yeah.
I haven't
So,
got,
Moya,
I haven't got that much money. He's got more money than me.
what to cook it in? Well, I mean...
Yeah, because my tray's not wide enough.
No, a roasting tray. If you put it in a roasting... Just put it on a roasting tray, I guess.
Or, if you haven't got... the tray's not big enough, cut it in half, leave it on the bone, and then roast it. So similar to we did the venison, salt and pepper,
Oh, I see.
in a frying pan, knob of butter.
Right, Moya.
And keep it.
Heaven or hell?
Heaven, definitely.
Good stuff, good stuff.
Thank you, Moya.
And Barry from Normanton, what would you like to ask?
Morning. I'd like to know the best way to cook fillets of fresh sea bass.
OK.
Well, it's got to be sustainable first, hasn't it? So it's nice, sustainable fish. And for me, sea bass has to be cooked on the skin side down, in a fry pan, or leave it whole so you can bake it in salt.
I mean, you can... It's sustainable. We're talking you can get a lot of farm sea bass now, because there's a moratorium on bass for this next year, I think. So, I think...
Yeah, but cook on the skin is my way.
yeah.
On the skin, or leave it whole.
Whole bake it, lots of
bake it.
lemon, herbs,
Yeah.
stuff it inside, bake it whole, flake it down.
Yeah, lovely. Yeah.
OK, heaven or hell?
Well, I love Katie and I hate liver. So
Yeah.
it's definitely heaven.
That's a white one.
Good stuff. Now then. It's time for the omelette challenge. It's your... I think that duck was worth it, all that basting. It just looks lovely. And it's time to find out whether Katie is getting a food heaven or food hell. Well, the food heaven was the arroz verde, which is made up of fresh prawns, fresh clams, garlic, rice, parsley, olive oil. Beautiful. And the food hell, liver.
I'm just looking at that. I'm sorry, feeling a bit nauseous.
Good. Well, actually, we know the callers went for heaven, so you're nearly there, but we've just got to ask the chefs. So, Bryn?
Well, for me, because you're here, the king of fish, and as beautiful as you are...
Are you a bit undecided?
No, I'm not undecided.
At all?
I went heaven.
Yay!
I'm so sorry. I went hell.
Got to play the bad guy. Yeah, OK.
It doesn't matter, because it's heaven.
Yeah.
Get rid of that horrid liver,
thank
which
God
I
for
do
that.
like, I must say.
My father loves liver as well.
And let's get cooking. So you boys, you've got 2 jobs. You can chop up a lot of garlic, all right, and then you can make an alioli, right?
You have to make it properly this time.
Well, you do, because I have to say that when we were doing the rehearsal, they didn't make it. But
two chefs
the
made it
number
wrong.
of times that I mess up making mayonnaise, and I've been making mayonnaise for about 30 years.
Why is that?
It's just because if you add the oil too quickly, just a tiny bit quickly when you start, it splits.
Ah, okay.
And it is a real
The
leveler.
texture.
I'm going to say something.
And then you can say, call yourself a chef. You can't even
I'm
make
going to say something. Rick did say about recipes not being quite right. He gave us a recipe and it didn't work. So I'm going to blame Rick.
Am I going to throw a little wobbler or what?
I'm going to start
too.
singing under pressure. It's aioli.
Oh, yeah, we had
So,
pressure on that one.
Honestly, I'm actually sweating a little bit, thinking if it splits.
Well, you
No, no.
complain about the egg situation, don't you? Not happy about that.
There's basically an egg gate. First the omelette,
Yeah.
now the aioli.
Yeah.
Look, get used to the pain. Doesn't it upset you when you?
He's not happy. The omelette's not
I
on
just
board. He's not happy.
what I'm doing is chopping up some shallot for this wonderful arroz dish, which comes from Cadiz.
Is this a silly question? How do you avoid your eyes getting
It's
watery?
not a silly question. In fact, I was asking only yesterday, and apparently it's a sulphur in the onions. According to Michaela, who does all the prep here, it's the sulphur in the onions, and sulphur is attracted to water. So it goes to the nearest water.
I
This may
see.
be right, or maybe not, but
Yeah.
I am starting to get a bit tearful.
Yeah.
My top tip is, and it always works, get somebody else to do it.
Well, that's a good idea.
I like that.
Always works. Hands down every
Knowing
time.
how it is with head chefs, of
I
course
have-
you would be getting somebody else to do it, wouldn't
I
you know?
have things like put a glass of water next to you. Oh, so that would make sense.
Yeah,
It would get
exactly.
attracted
Yeah,
to-
yeah.
Oh,
Yeah.
Cool.
Right, we got olive oil in here. Everybody happy with that? Hello?
Tom's not.
Look, I'll tell you what. If you feel so strongly about it, you can make the alioli with rapeseed oil. But if it splits, it's your fault.
Well, we already decided we're making it together.
We'll make it together, yeah.
Yeah. So your garlic is here.
But we might change your
Chef Rick.
recipe, Mr. Stein.
Right. Oh, that's enough. Oh, that's
That's for you,
perfect.
and then I'll make a little bit for the aioli.
Now, Katie, I just want you to talk to me about
Yeah.
this in winter, because I was just reading what you said about it, and I just tell me the sort of atmosphere of it.
Well, it's basically I made it with a Georgian all-female choir,
Yeah.
and they have such
Garlic.
exquisite, beautiful voices.
Yeah.
We wanted to create an atmosphere of winter that you could really listen to from beginning to end. You know, and that it would be a good accompaniment for winter time. And I sort of thought lots about what albums are, you know, like what is it that we do when we listen to a record. And it was made with a view of being the listener and, you know, wanting to hear, say, Rachmaninoff. So there's a piece by Rachmaninoff. There's a Ukrainian winter carol called Little Swallow, and some original songs about my childhood too. So it's to fill the house with lots of warm, Christmassy vibes.
Perfect. I can see the mistletoe and the holly.
Yeah, and if you're decorating the tree, if you're walking through the woods, picking ingredients for your cooking, you know, have it on the
You hear
Walkman.
that, Tom?
Yeah.
Right, I've sweated off my garlic and my onions.
Sorry,
and
I'm just a bit busy, you know. Rick.
and now I've got some fish stock,
Okay.
which I'm going to pour in. And when making paella, you always add the stock first. When you're making risotto, you add the rice first. So in goes the stock. How's that parsley then, Brendan?
Yeah, passy's done.
Oh, look at
I need to
that.
do the prawns for you, don't I?
Those prawns look amazing.
Yeah, and this rice is actually
massive.
paella rice,
Okay.
which I'm going to put in a second. Put the parsley in first. Calaspara it's called, and it comes from Murcia, but so Valencia, Murcia, there's
Okay.
like nice deltas and lots of water to grow rice in.
Lovely.
The great thing about paella rice is that it absorbs 2.5 times, I probably shouldn't be saying this, but 2.5 times its volume in liquid.
Okay.
So it puffs up.
Oh, wonderful.
But then it keeps its shape. And with risotto, it's a very similar looking rice, but that tends to, when you cook it, it tends to give up its
Yeah.
the gunge in there. I can't remember what it's called, but
Is it
it's
when
not
you're-
gluten, that's for sure. Starch.
Oh,
Good
okay.
stuff.
Is it one of your favourite things to travel abroad and discover food from other...
It really is, and what I particularly like is like, it's actually a bit like Tom, where a dish has a story, and when you travel, you do tend to find all dishes have a story, and particularly something like paella, which was essentially a local dish using rice and whatever was to hand. So they would use chicken, rabbit, seafood, frogs sometimes. Not, I have to say, and this is a joke at Jamie Oliver's expense, not necessarily chorizo, but
Okay.
I do feel a bit sorry for him, though. You don't know that he's admitted he always puts chorizo, you know, that spicy Spanish sausage, in his paella.
Does he?
And everybody, all the aficionados say, never, never.
Can't do that.
But he's saying, well, why not? If it's what I like, why
Yeah,
shouldn't
if he
I?
likes
I
it.
agree with it, actually. So, thank you very much, chaps. Right, we're just going to pop those. Will be enough now. We're going to put those in here.
You've got to be allowed to have some creativity, though, don't you think, with food and cooking,
I think
especially
so.
as a chef?
I think so. You know,
We're ready.
Yeah. Oh my
So, I mean, these are just lovely fresh prawns. I won't put too many in just for time. And then here's your clams.
Wow.
And you just put them on top like this. And this stage in the dish, it's about 6 minutes cooking. Just need to taste to put enough salt in, because if there's one thing, apart from losing the omelette challenge or splitting the aioli
He's
jinxed it.
that I
The pressure's on this one.
how's it going, boys? It's looking all right. I think we're in luck this time. It's actually not under seasoning thing.
OK.
Oh, that's it. Blame the Welsh boy.
No,
Be generous with your spices.
Yeah, absolutely. But that's good. That's good. Right, now that is... I need to cook that
Getting
now for about
excited.
15 minutes. I just need to let it move on a bit. Yeah, it's getting exciting. How is that then? Yes, good.
And how come they're doing it like
to go to
that,
the
like
gym.
slowly?
Yeah.
Why is it?
We normally add oil
Well, I tell
to
you-
emulsify it slowly, so
You
it
worked out
emulsifies together.
which one's the donkey.
You add it slowly because otherwise it splits. And basically, when you're making an emulsion like that, you're using egg yolk to coat the little droplets of oil that you disperse all the oil as you whisk like that.
Okay.
And you want the egg yolk to coat the oil, because then... to use...
It's
I
so
can't remember
intense.
now. Do you
It's
know,
so
I just
intense.
forget it. I'm no science in the kitchen.
No, it looks amazing.
Right.
Well, the lemon juice
Good, that's ready
helps to
to go.
cook the egg yolk.
Right, of course I've done one earlier because it takes too long, 20, 25 minutes, so that's really nice, don't you think? And it's very simple. I was just reminded when we were filming this dish, all the crew, we were in this rice restaurant, a fish and seafood rice restaurant in Cadiz.
Yeah.
All the crew went for paella with that really bright yellow look to it,
Oh,
you know?
yeah,
And I went for this because it's what the locals were eating.
So you knew.
And I said to the crew, I said, you'd have to have sunglasses to eat what you're eating.
Oh, I see.
And the next shot is the crew with sunglasses.
Amazing.
Funny. Right, there we go. Let's get some cutlery and let us try what I think, and I would say this, wouldn't I, is a lovely dish. And you might ask the question, why do you put more garlic with it? Because it's lovely. Right, I'm just going to get some wine to go with
Okay,
it.
lovely. Thank you very much. Yeah, I think it's going to be perfect. It does, doesn't it?
Sauvignon Gris here. Green Sauvignon, I suppose, nice and greeny. Get the glasses, that's fine, thank you. I can't open it.
You know how lucky we are to have the king of fish cooking us some...
Yeah, I know. It
That's
is
a special day.
And that's
majestic.
£9 from Marks and Spencer's.
And we didn't split the aioli.
No.
Have a quick taste. And you didn't. The aioli is impeccable. And you've probably changed me forever. That I'll probably be making my aioli with rapeseed oil. Good Cornish rapeseed oil, probably.
Cheers.
Cheers.
We do have it. Cold press,
In
of
Georgia, we
course.
say gaumajos when we have wine.
Gaumajos.
In Welsh, we say yachida.
Yachita. Is that right?
Yep.
In England, you say cheers.
Well, that's all from us today on Saturday Kitchen Live. Thanks to our brilliant
tuck in.
studio chefs, Bryn Williams and Tom Sellers. Thank you very much. The delightful Katie Melua, very delightful, and Jane Parkinson for the outstanding wine choices. All the recipes from this show are on the website bbc.co.uk/Saturday Kitchen. I've had a fantastic time. Next week, Donal Skian is back in charge, thank goodness. And don't forget, Best Bites tomorrow at 10:15 on BBC Two. Have a great weekend. Cheers.